feel like laughing like Ganondorf sometimes. I do. I'd rather laugh honestly like Garium though. Garium, yeah. I'd rather laugh like Garium. I would. Oh my gosh, what a surprise, right? My last video, I kind of made it kind of like my other videos, right? Because I've been talking about so much smart stuff. A lot of smart stuff. But now, a lot of smart stuff. Oh my gosh. Uh, a beautiful mistake, okay? So, a beautiful mistake happened to me. Okay, so a beautiful mistake, just a beautiful one. But so Shadow of Colossus, we've shown a lot of info on it. We've already shown the spoiler, okay? We've shown that. But now it's time to what? Go to another video game, okay? But this part, I feel it. But I'm just kind of ticked off because I just know how hard it is to find this. It's so hard. And it may be the hardest thing ever on this planet. It really might be one of the hardest things on this planet. It might be annoying. It might be frustrating. It might be just so mean. It's so mean. It's not even mean. It's nasty. It is nasty how hard it is to do this. So let me explain it to you. Let me just try and explain it to you in an easy way, because we got to start with episode 1 just being an easy way, okay? Easy way. Oh my gosh, dude. And honestly, I've always been scared talking about this because it also comes off as how creepy am I? How creepy am I? To hide this long, how creepy am I? But that's the thing to somebody who finds a secret in a Shadow of Colossus game. Now, I was comfortable with Shadow of Colossus. I was just comfortable with it. As creepy as the secret was in Shadow of Colossus, and I still find it very creepy. I find it very, very, very scary. I know that sometimes you just gotta say the other thing, because if you say the other thing, you never know what will happen, right? Okay? So you see this drawing I have. I've made it very mysterious. I've made it ridiculously puzzling. Just puzzling, but it looks so good, doesn't it? Look at it. It looks super good. But that's just the talent of me. I can create and I can draw good. And with fan art just allows me to be safe for as this creepy thing that I know of. So it gives me a little bit of safety. But for the longest time, I was annoyed with many things. I was annoyed with rushed Mario 64 icebergs, okay? I was really annoyed with that. I was annoyed with just a lot of things, okay? Because sometimes you really do have to put work in, and you have to play a game manually. So what is Switch Online? Why does Switch Online cost you somewhat of money to play 64 games, Super Nintendo games, Game Boy games, and I kind of want to fit the energy. I do. I want to fit the energy to you, because let me say something to you that I've said before. Mario 64 is king, okay? And I mean that. Mario 64 is king, and I just don't know. But there's times I just avoid it. I just avoid Mario 64 because I already know that, if I can jump out a Shadow of Colossus secret right there and I can put it out there and I can just give us the secret right away of Shadow of Colossus, I'll do that. So when I go back to this Part 2 Shadow of Colossus project I'm working on, yes, I will. For you, I will, okay? As frustrating as it is, but like, I only have to evolve, okay? You know what I mean? I have to evolve, okay? I have to get to this part. Now, let me try and make it easy for you so you just feel the excitement, okay? If you feel the excitement, all right? First, it came out with NES games. First, we were just given NES games, and later we were giving Super Nintendo games, okay? Now, the NES games are just as important, but when we were given the Super Nintendo games, and we were also given 64 games, right? So when we were given the Super Nintendo games, we were given a game that we just never thought we'd get from Nintendo. We thought Nintendo would be stingy, We thought Nintendo would be like not giving us money worth, okay? But they have to give money worth for this service, okay? So they're giving money worth for this service, all right? So let's talk about it, okay? The craziest thing that can happen to you, specifically anybody or like a market thing, Zelda Tears of Kingdom, off topic, Zelda Tears of Kingdom is very good, okay? So we know it's very good, but it's just not it's not what we're going to see from Metroid Prime 4. We know it. We're not going to see... Metroid Prime 4 is going to be the cool thing to see. The reason Zelda Tears of Kingdom is leaked, you want to know something though? It is good. It is good. But the reason that Zelda Tears of Kingdom is leaked is scary, because the reason it's leaked is there's this fear. There's this fear from Nintendo that possibly I could see the secret in Mario 64 one more time. I've only seen it once, and I know I've only seen it once, and I know the rarity of it. I know the rarity of it. I know the problem behind it. I have so many things about it. But it's crazy where I'm at right now, because I found some pictures. And now that I've found some pictures, I guess my brain is different from being a child, Like my child brain was able to get to the secret, though. That's the crazy part. With no camera recording, but was able to get to the secret because I didn't own a camera. I just owned a 64, okay? So, which was very annoying. But I didn't even want a recording of it, because you know how everybody just likes to peek into your stuff. And they don't care, and they'll peek into your stuff, and they'll just peek, and then people are wondering, like, how hard are you working, But you're always working, and you have something that's just frustrating you because you love it, but you would never want a recording of it, because as soon as you got a recording of it, then just maybe it would be hard for you, because you have fans that just live, and everybody lives on their little Earthbound island. Everybody lives on their little Animal Cross island. Everybody lives on their little Legend of Zelda island. You know what I'm saying? Everybody lives on their Star Fox island, okay? So it's not easy for me. It's not easy for me at all to keep this secret, because I'm dealing with people who like Luigi's Mansion, I'm dealing with everybody will say to you, I hate Nintendo. They will say that. They will say, I hate Nintendo, but they don't hate Nintendo. They're just so clueless. They're clueless, and they're like, I hate Nintendo. But they're like, but if I could get any information, I would, There's even a guy right now who's playing Zelda Tears of Kingdom, and I laugh at him because he's showing the levels. He's showing some of the content in the game. And I'm like, but this guy does not know what he's showing. He is just playing Zelda because he's been playing a ton of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So now he's playing Zelda Tears of Kingdom, okay? And the stuff that he is showing is rushed, silly. I won't even name him, but you know who I'm talking about, okay? It's silly. It's rushed. It's goofy. It's just goofy, okay? It's like I don't even know what to say. Like, there are people that literally play Breath of the Wild, and I know all these people. I really do. I've seen them, and they play Breath of the Wild, and one of my friends, he was like, man, how'd you already beat Breath of the Wild, when Breath of the Wild came out? So I'm gonna tell you something, okay? I'm just gonna tell you something. See, look, this is 10 minutes of not even like ranting. This is like 10 minutes of you've been waiting for something like this, but like I feel the way that I want to show this is gonna be crazy. Okay, so what did we see in my previous video? Okay, you're not gonna watch the previous video. Okay, you're gonna watch this video. I know specifically you're gonna watch this video, but if you were to watch the previous video and you were to at least pay attention to any of it, okay. I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you, too. Like, I don't know how I'm getting this stuff. I'm getting this stuff because my adult brain is different from my kid brain. My kid brain and my adult brain is... But I still remember parts of my kid brain, you know? I still remember parts of it, okay? So let's talk about it, okay? So Pajama Sam, right? Okay, I don't even know how this happened. I really don't know how this Pajama Sam. I don't know how if I remembered Pajama Sam. Maybe it was Andy's apple. I don't know what it was. Okay, so I think I remember specifically it was just like I needed a fan for my Wii. Maybe it was just that. Maybe it was I needed the fan for my Wii, and I went back to a Best Buy that I knew, and that was probably what it was because like I knew of this Best Buy, and it was a pretty good Best Buy. It's a really good Best Buy to go to. But okay, so they have Tekken. You could when Tekken came out, they had it so you could just go there and play Tekken. Okay, so I guess that's why I ended up even going back to that Best Buy. But when I went to that Best Buy, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. When I went to that Best Buy, there was these PC games. And me and my friends, right? Just me and my friend, we were like, okay, we're going to get Serious Sam, you know? We decided Serious Sam's cheap. CDs are cheap. We don't have to buy expensive video games. We don't have to buy, like, a Dreamcast. We don't have to buy, like, a, I don't know, PlayStation 1 or what, because it was PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast during that time. But I'm a rarity. I really am. I'm a huge rarity that I'm from a time when they were advertising PlayStation 1, and when they were advertising PlayStation 1, they didn't think that a guy playing a Nintendo 64 like me, they didn't think me would try and figure anything out, you know? But I did. I figured something out. And but when I figured out something in Mario 64, okay, it was a lot different. One, I shut up. I did a lot of shutting up. I think I even shut up on Pokemon Blue, and I don't think Pokemon Blue... I think the thing that I found in Pokemon Blue was meh, you know? And that's what it really boils down to, is the thing I found in Pokemon Blue was meh. I still think it's okay, but it's like meh. But I guess Mario 64 was the craziest calling ever for me. Like, I don't even know how it happened. I think it was like, okay, so I didn't have, what was it, GameCube? Maybe it was GameCube. I don't know what it was, man. You know, a lot of people were playing Halo on Xbox, okay? Mario 64, I was able to find this, and it was probably like the luckiest thing that happened to me when I did find this. But eventually when I did find it, I was like, man, this just seems impossible. You know, it just seems like when you're playing like I'm talking a very difficult game, like when you're playing like something like Monster Hunter, or you're playing like just like a very impossible video game, or like if you're playing, I don't know, if you're getting all the medals in Star Fox 64, which is pretty grindy, and depending on how your cartridge Star Fox 64, it'll be very annoying. But it'll be very annoying. It will make you feel like it's just like, but I'm like sometimes I'm like, you know, I'm just like, hooray! Like, you know, like the hooray! And that's what I mean. Hooray! Kind of thing. Because even though I've talked about this Shadow of the Colossus secret, I'm already like, hooray! Because now I've found some stuff, playing too much Mario 64 again, and I found some stuff, and I'm like, great! just great. You know, it doesn't even help that my friend, he had a Game Shark. I had a 64. He had a Game Shark. And I said, hey, could I borrow that Game Shark? You know, could I borrow the Game Shark? And I let him borrow one of my games. I think I let him borrow one of my games. I was like, yeah, you could go ahead and borrow that game. I just want the Game Shark. And oh my gosh, dude. I've been kind of like the Mario 64 secret that people. I just don't know. People do not know why Mario 64 is king, and they don't understand why Mario 64 is king. And the problem with an iceberg that you have right now is I've been replaying Mario 64, and none of the iceberg stuff makes any sense. None of it. Like just zero. Some of it maybe like. I've been a little critical on myself, went back to Wet Dry World. I found something in Wet Dry World that I think's okay. But like Wet Dry World is still a fan thing. And Zelda Tears of Kingdom has shown cool stuff. It has shown some cool stuff. But even at the peak of its cool stuff that it's shown, it's still doing the haunted stuff of like it's showing you beta content. But beta content never matters to a video game. It doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't know why. It just doesn't. The beta content really never matters to a video game. And the only time that it does matter is it's going to be like a completely different game. Okay, it's going to be a completely different game. Like I guess even like Pokemon. I guess Pokemon's the only one that does it. And you got to remember, Pokemon's another game. It's another game that a lot of people like. Okay, so Pokemon is just another game that a ton of people like, and they say they don't like it, but they still like it, you know? And you can clearly see that people still like it because we got Pokemon Scarlet, we got Pokemon Sword and Shield, you know? We got people who just like it, okay? But, like, see this drawing, the energy from this drawing is gonna scare you, okay? The energy from this drawing is going to scare you. Even times when I wasn't able to purchase like some video games, okay, there were some video games I was able to purchase. Link's Awakening was one I was not able to purchase because I'm an adult. You know, I'm an adult. I got other stuff to do, you know. Link Awakening, the remake for the Nintendo Switch, okay? So let me talk about energy-wise. Okay, so energy-wise. This is a tutorial, okay? So we have to start somewhere, right? Okay, we have to start somewhere, and if we don't start somewhere, it's not gonna happen. You know, we have to start though. The Switch Online has a ton of games. Okay, it has Star Fox, which is one that's a controversial game. It's definitely a game that everybody pays attention to. Star Fox Super Nintendo is a game that no matter what, anybody, I'm telling you, like only anybody, not even just gamers, people in general, we'll look at the Star Fox video. Now, I knew somebody a long time ago, a couple of years ago, who was not very fond of video games, but as long as there was Star Fox, as long as there was that Super Nintendo Star Fox and that secret level, it was enough to get them. We've had, you know, you have somebody online who tells you how creepy Star Fox is because they're like, man, this is creepy. You know, they literally are like, why is this creepy? Okay. Star Fox for Super Nintendo, right? Is very good. It's just like, I think like out of every video game I could think of, and that's why people also hate Nintendo, because out of all the video games you think you would compare to Mario 64, because you're not going to beat Mario 64. You're not. I hate to tell you, you just can't. Yeah, you could have you could even bring up Animal Crossing GameCube. You could bring up Pikmin. You could bring up anything you could think of, okay? You could bring up Shadow of Colossus. You could bring up Ico. You could bring up anything you could think of. You could bring up Recompile. Do you go on saying you could bring up Recompile? I like Recompile. But, like, you could bring up anything. It just doesn't matter. Mario 64 is king. And the reason Mario 64 is so dominant is because it is having the same energy as the one game that could compare to it, the one game that could stand toe to toe with it. Star Fox 1 for the Super Nintendo, the one game, just the one game that could do it, the one game that could, that has a possibility, can do it, will do it, and somehow will do it. Okay, but I still do. I know some other games, I know some other games I think could go toe-to-toe with it. Do I think Kirby could go toe-to-toe with it? Sure, maybe. But that's a maybe. Did you hear what I said? That's a maybe. And you know what? I'm just going to say to you, there is no maybe. This Mario 64 thing decided to be the evilest thing. It decided just to be an evil thing. And do you get what I'm saying? Like, I like Star Fox 1. I do. I like Star Fox 1. Sometimes I like Star Fox 1 just as much as I like Mario 64. And these are but that's like sometimes. But then Mario 64, you know what the biggest problem is with Mario 64? Is Mario 64 has so many things to it. It has enemy types that are useless. Like useless enemy types. Like enemy types that do not make sense, and they don't even feel like Mario characters, right? You got Zelda Tears of Kingdom right now, trying not to be a Zelda game. You already hinted, though, in Breath of the Wild, if you're paying anything in attention to Breath of the Wild, that this was going to be done into Tears of Kingdom. That's why Tears of Kingdom right now is leaked. It's not because it's leaked and oh no, it's bad. It's leaked because it's following the same thing of what Zelda Breath of the Wild is doing in both these Zelda titles. Now, Splatoon. I don't get into Splatoon that much because Splatoon was on the Wii U. The one thing you have to come to a conclusion is that Nintendo is always going to have it be around like a Nintendo game. Splatoon has some good secrets. It does. It has some good secrets, but it's still not for Mario 64. And it's kind of why it took us. It's why we had like that insane $60 where you could buy Mario 64, get Sunshine and Galaxy for $60. It's why the 64 titles have taken so long for us to get 64 titles. It might take us forever to just get Quest 64 on Switch Online, okay? But do you get what I'm saying? Like this is like these are market things. But even though these are market things, okay, so that's what it is. Even though these are all market things, and these are things for your Nintendo Switch system, and these are games you can play, okay? It doesn't change the fact that there's a secret in Mario 64. And don't think anything to it because there's people talking about new stages in Mario 64. There's people who talk about that, but I'm here to sit down and tell you. I'm here to tell you, nope, that's not what we're talking about, okay? We are talking about something so crazy. It's so nuts. It is very nuts. Let me tell you how nuts it is, okay? Because it just doesn't even sound possible. It sounds cuckoo. It sounds cuckoo, because we have a PC game, Pajama Sam, okay? We have the PC game, Pajama Sam, is doing a lot of things it should not do. And I don't know what it is because there was so many dang Pajama Sam games. I think I only played like a few of the Pajama Sams, but there was literally like 1, 2, 3 Pajama Sam games. And I think this was like probably the best thing that could happen for it too with the Pajama Sam because Goosebumps was kind of like the ideal game to play on PC. Sonic CD was the ideal game to play on your PC. But Pajama Sam was not the ideal game. Now, in this picture, I have put something scary in here. Now, if you can notice what scary I've put in here, good for you. But if you can't, good for you. You're just going to have to pay attention. I have to, when I say stuff, okay, so Enemy Zero took a lot of effort out of me. That video for Enemy Zero and even the Kate Gears Pop, that took some effort. But definitely the Enemy Zero took a lot of effort, okay? So that took effort just as much as the Kate Pop, these Funko Pops. Sometimes it's something that you just don't even think you'd ever talk about. Like, you don't ever think you'd talk about Pajama Sam, because Pajama Sam is like a bundle game. It's very attainable. It's a bundle game. It's just something that you're like, I don't think I'd ever talk about that. But then you sit down, you pay attention to Pajama Sam. I think like the hardest thing about paying attention to Pajama Sam, okay? The hardest thing about it is that there's a ton of games like Pajama Sam. That's probably one of them. But you got to remember all the things you're thinking about. Okay, so the things you're thinking about. IGN's writing reviews for a Monkey Island game a long time ago when the Wii was out. There's always a common thing. This is like a big project. These are huge projects. Okay, all these video games that I talk about are huge projects. It depends on what game I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. Gears of War is probably gonna be the hardest one for me to dive because I'm telling you that the only Gears of War game like I dive into is like I probably would just like dive into Gears of War 1, 4 maybe 4, 5 definitely just because 5. Let me just tell you something. I want to throw this out to you, okay? I haven't even caught up on ReCore. You know, I've done a lot in ReCore. I've played a lot of ReCore, but I haven't talked anything about ReCore, okay? And the reason I haven't talked anything about ReCore is I'm still a little confused on ReCore, but I'm not fully confused on ReCore, okay? I'm not fully confused on it, but I've been patient with that one, okay? So I really have. I've been patient with ReCore, and I love ReCore. I love ReCore. And I've been very, very patient on that one just because this Mario 64 thing. I know the power of this Mario 64 secret, okay? So I really do. I know the power of it. There's just so many things. Icebergs are like, let me tell you why they're so bewildering with the Mario 64. Why I'm going to make a good Mario 64 iceberg versus somebody who already made. It's the difference of me seeing the secret, okay? So I saw the secret. That's where you get the vibe that I'm creepy because I've already told you the Shadow of Colossus secret, okay? I'm just like I'm not a perfect gamer, and that's the great thing. I'm not a perfect gamer because some of the things I have not been able to find in Pokemon. But the things that I understand puzzles. I really understand a puzzle game. If it's a puzzle game, there's something to it. Even if it's like one of those games that are like a low budget, I also understand Resident Evil games. I just understand maps. I understand what a game could actually be saying. I'm better at reading script codes of that. I just can't read script codes of different. Maybe RPGs is hard, but like I did find something in Final Fantasy. But it was like, I don't think it was that much in Final Fantasy, but I found something in a Final Fantasy game. I'm not going to tell you which one that is until I get more information on that one. But look, I couldn't even find the secrets in the Final Fantasy. There was like the Final Fantasy 9. Yeah, I couldn't find that stuff, but some people found that stuff. So this is like what I found, and I know how big this project is. It kind of like it's like, oh, Pajama Sam, are you kidding me? Tekken comes out and Pajama Sam is just right around there. You never forget a good game. You know what I'm saying? You never forget your Mole Mania. You never forget a good game, and you never forget Pajama Sam. You don't forget Pajama Sam. You don't. The Mario 64 thing has so many things in it, dude. Way too many things. It has I'm telling you, it has like almost 396 different things to it. But like, I found some things to make it easier to explain, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why? I'm like, why? Because like I told you, there's a part 2 to the Shadow of Colossus, but it just makes sense to go into Mario 64 now. and that's where I'm just completely lost. I'm not lost, but I'm like, wow, I have to go to Mario 64. Then after I've gotten to the Mario 64, but I'm still gonna go to part 2 anyway of Shadow of Colossus. But Mario,